It is a few minutes past the hour. I wanted to just say hello and Happy New Year to you all. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're pretty excited to walk through a little recap on 25, talk about 26, talk about what's new. Today I'm joined, it's Kristen and myself, and we have a special guest. We have Michael George here with us. And I think I'm going to hand it to Michael to kick us off for the day. So, Mike,
Great,
take it away.
great. Dee, thank you. Yes, Happy New Year. I first want to, on behalf of the entire Team Syncro, express our gratitude to all of you and to our MSP partners, to our IT professionals who have been a part of this journey for us and frankly have contributed to all of the work that we're doing in countless ways. Our Partner Advisory Council, a special thanks to you all. You meet with us monthly. It's a big commitment. It's a lot of work, but it's an invaluable thing for us because we want to and are maniacally focused on building products that are valuable to our community. And so the only way we're going to know that is if you tell us what those things are. So again, a special thanks to the Partner Advisory Council and also to everyone who signs up for early access. We're grateful to you as well because you can only go through so much QA and testing in our environment, but it's really in your specific use cases that everything is really truly tested out, and all of your feedback is listened to, factored in, and acted on. So truly, truly grateful, to all of you. I'm going to just spend a few minutes and chat about some of the, 2025 initiatives that laid the foundation for 2026 and beyond. And I think it's particularly important, to note strategically where we see the market going and where we are driving our platform and our technology toward, because it is for the benefit of you. We want to make sure that you are really at the forefront of this industry. It's moving very quickly. There are new technologies, new dynamics, and then therefore new competitors in your market every day. And we want to basically enable you and empower you with the best tools, technology, platform, and modality by which you will be delivering managed services to. So just a quick, laying the foundation from a lay the foundation perspective. As you know, in very late April, we launched Syncro XMM, and we're just so excited about that. And the adoption of it has been extraordinary. The uses have been extraordinary of it. And as you know, it's a complete paradigm shift in the way that managed services are going to be delivered. And I'll come back to that in a minute when I talk about how you should anticipate the future of our initiatives and the future, frankly, of this whole industry. Number two, as you saw, we recently collaborated with CyberDrain. We have a terrific and very close relationship with Kelvin and the whole team there, and developed and launched Syncro Snapshot and made that available to you for your benefit in many ways. First and foremost, to make sure that your own environments are rock solid, as you want to be. You want to have sort of the highest proficiency of security posture management, and also, though, to enable you to go to market and perhaps to really steal customers from your competitors. And what an opportunity to go out with somebody that you've been trying to get into your portfolio as a customer, and to go out and to run a test and expose those vulnerabilities that you can help them close. So anyway, it was a great collaboration, and you should anticipate more from us in that area. Third, we launched Syncro Cloud Backup also earlier this year, and this is for, or late last year, and this is to create a comprehensive Microsoft 365 and Entra ID protection environment, right? As we all know, even though backup is considered really kind of table stakes in the managed services business, the idea of Entra ID and cloud backup is a very, very important area. Everybody knows how to back up mail and data and so forth. But when you don't actually back up the infrastructure or the environment, you really don't have a great place to instantly restore it to. So this is really to complete the cycle of security by creating that capability. And that has also been an astounding success for people. And since it's so integrated into our environment, a lot of our partner and customer community have displaced other perhaps now antiquated backup solutions with our cloud backup solution. So we're grateful to you there, and you should anticipate again more from us in that area. And just last but not least, as I was expressing my gratitude to all of you, obviously these things are not possible without Team Syncro themselves working tirelessly on behalf of our customer and partner community, and getting these kinds of releases. I mean, to release two brand new products in a single year, if that doesn't scream innovation, nothing does. So my gratitude to everybody at Team Syncro for all the tremendous work that they've done. In addition to that, of course, 12 monthly releases, 41 major new release initiatives, and upwards of 50 improvements and updates across the platform. So again, everybody is working, tirelessly to ensure that we're providing you the best, most advanced, but yet simple and and modern platform possible. I just want to look into 2026 and beyond and share with you our clear view on how this market is playing out and the things that you should anticipate from us, where we are really increasing our investments into. The first is in Microsoft. They have a reason to be a more critical part of the managed services environment. And they are an enterprise company, so they build great products for the large enterprise, but they are not known in the SMB. And so they are dependent on and partner with companies like Syncro, and we're very, very closely aligned with them. Some of you may have seen that Mark Brown joined our board of directors. Mark ran M&A and equities at Microsoft for 20 years. He worked for Gates, he worked for Balmer, and worked for Satya Nadella, and made all of the amazing acquisitions that they made the investment in OpenAI, et cetera. He's an extraordinary addition to our board of directors, and he helps us also with our relationship, improving it with all the senior leadership team at Microsoft so that we can pay attention to where they're going and what they value, and how to best partner up with them to bring their enterprise grade quality products to the small to medium business market. And because they are not going to do that ever, and they are a 100% channel company. So we are the perfect partner for them in that initiative. And you're going to see more investment and more growth in the Microsoft management capabilities to enable you to have a new modality of service delivery. Security, obviously, is the watchword for this industry. This is a security first industry. And so inside of that security envelope, obviously, and everything we do today is all left of boom, right? We're all on the preventative side of things. So if you can get your tenant and policy management systems all, established properly, you're massively improving your security posture. And then lastly, we are leaning into AI, but we're doing so in a very thoughtful way. We weren't late to the game. We were actually a little too early in our first initiative. It was before sort of the LLMs all shook out and everything else. But you'll see new and better improvements from us in and around AI, not for the sake of the technology itself, but for the use cases that most greatly benefit you in and around tech automation and tech utilization to improve the quality of life and the ability for any of our technicians to sort of really automate a lot of the rote, mundane, routine things and things that can be done at a system level, and allow our IT professionals to sort of, elevate their positions into more strategic work on behalf of your customers, whether it be other companies as an MSP or for internal IT to your corporate constituents and the employees. So anyway, these are areas that you're going to hear more and momentarily from Dee and Kristen on, and you will see a lot of from this year. So again, my expression of gratitude to each and every one of you, and we're just as excited this year for just as many new and exciting innovations to come from Syncro. Thanks so much, Dee. Back to you.
All right, great. Thank you so much, Michael. Uh, Before we hop into this, just a quick reminder for everyone, especially folks that aren't here. Typically, we try to take some time at the end of this to answer all of your questions and go through as many as we possibly can. So if you could use that Q&A module, Kristen, Michael, and myself will all do our best job to answer anything we can at the end and talk it through. So, all right, before we hop into the what's new, I wanted to do a lightning round of 2025, and I just want to make sure that you're not missing out on anything that might make your life easier. So it's going to be quick. So first up, a handful of projects around securing and managing Microsoft 365. So first, the ability to sync with Entra ID is bringing over your end users, your groups, allowing you right inside of Syncro, reset your passwords, your MFA, block and unblock users, revoke sessions. We also launched Syncro Snapshot, which Michael mentioned, to generate a one-time report with risk insights and recommendations. We don't store any credentials, and there's absolutely no data persistence on that one. And last but not least, if we could go forward one more slide, we launched a backup product for Entra ID and Microsoft 365. This is fully integrated inside of Syncro, so it's set it and forget it. We've got some predictable pricing, unlimited storage, universal billing. We have thousands of users actually already backing up with the platform. All right, so now let's move into device management. Earlier this year, we launched Network Discovery. Okay, so this is going to allow you to automatically scan and identify all the devices connected to your network, whether it's a workstation or a printer. It allows you to easily install agents right from here, and you can basically continually monitor and ensure that no devices are sneaking onto your network when you're not looking. We've also added a patching dashboard. So now you can clearly see like what percent of your fleet is fully patched. You can configure the table, you can export it, you can get a granular look at how patching is going across all your clients. Or you can kind of drill in on a specific KB if that's what you want to do. We've also added third-party patching improvements. So you'll see a more comprehensive list of applications, and we allow you to update your custom applications and just generally make systems more secure. We also added the ability to easily archive assets this year, or last year, I guess it is now. So they don't get in your way while you're working, but you can still access them, get your full historical records and compliance and reporting. There's also the ability to track warranties now, so you can easily track and manage them right inside the product, and you can pull that information right into your executive reports with you, so you can see it in your customer reports if you want to talk to them. From a productivity perspective, a bunch of enhancements, especially in and around ticketing. So we have an entire new ticket index page, the ability to pin your views, to sort, to filter. We standardized the ticket metrics across the platform. We added a new view for technicians so that you can easily see all the work assigned to you and unassigned or assigned to your colleagues. We updated the ticket timer and the labor log, and we made a one-click custom time duration now on that timer as well. So if you want to add just 5 minutes or 15 minutes, one click, you can set what you want that time to be, and it kind of automatically hops in there in the timer. The mobile app has also come a long way over the past year. Worksheets, time clock, canned responses, assets being assigned, full customer organization search, end users and tickets, click to map, click to call, copy, paste, at mentions, performance improvements continuously, and of course, by popular demand, dark mode. The concept of contacts was also expanded into a full end user page. So there's now a separate space for you to manage your end users. An index page for searching, kind of managing columns, being able to take action, being able to export to a CSV, see your Microsoft licenses, easily link out to tickets so you can go back and forth, really just making it a whole lot easier for you to work with and manage your end users. The end user portal was also modernized. It has a more intuitive design. There were improvements made to the flows for the end users, especially around ticketing for them and payment processing. In the area of reporting, we made some enhancements. We launched the Power BI template hub. It has pre-built dashboards, like 5 or 6 pre-built dashboards that connect directly to your Syncro account via the API. So these are super easy to use. You don't actually need API expertise or Power BI expertise to use them. And there is a Power Hour coming up on this topic at the end of this month. For anyone who hasn't been to Power Hour, they're kind of technically focused, hands-on, kind of like being able to see how things work. And so this will be a kind of a 101 Power Hour on how to use these reporting templates so you can quickly and easily, make some, significant changes to your reporting. We also made some pretty good updates to the report builders. One of my favorites is the ability to include your ticket view filters into the report builders. So if you have a ticket view that just shows your project tickets or just shows your service tickets, and you want to see just your data, just your SLAs on that type of ticket for that specific view, you can now easily include that in your customer report. So it just makes it a whole lot easier to share out with your clients if you want to, whatever you want to report on. We've also added some new time period options and other enhancements. More to come on reporting in the future as well. For those of you that are co-managing with your clients, we've added the ability to have white label email. So you can send an outbound email from a client specific domain, or you can give your co-managed users access to reports or run scripts. We've also made a bunch of enhancements to the API, and we're going to continue to march down the path of updating the API as we head into 2026. And then in Marketplace, we added 3 new security products into our Marketplace last year. We added Threat Down for EDR, MDR. We added Iron Scales for email security. We added Auto Elevate for privileged access management. And we also added universal billing. And so for folks that aren't aware of this, this is basically that ability to automatically get dynamic counts and bill right into your recurring invoices in Syncro. So you never miss out on any revenue. You can do that today with Acronis, Iron Scales, Proofpoint, and Threat Down, as well as Syncro Cloud Backup, of course. All right. We also did some things outside of the core product that I just wanted to mention. In addition to our webinars like this one, where we try to present what's new and answer all your questions, we have added the Power Hour, which we already mentioned. We have reinvigorated the Syncro community. There's a lot of interaction out there now with both the Syncro team and among our partners and customers, really just helping each other, asking questions, answering. The Doc Center has been updated regularly with new content, every new release. We have a lot of specific examples in there. We've added in-product guidance and onboarding. And just this week, we are launching our brand new Syncro training Unleashed, which I think Kristen is going to talk about more in a little bit. But there is still some chances to win t-shirts out there. So if anyone's interested in taking some training, that'll be an opportunity that we talk about. Finally, and last but not least, and I think Michael said like over 50 quality of life improvements over the year. It's actually over 350, so dropped a 3 on that one. And so we have month on month been listening to your feedback, trying to deliver, in addition to some of the bigger features like we just talked about, a lot of little things. We're just trying to remove friction from the system. We're trying to listen to where we can connect the dots for you to just make things easier. We're going to continue to do this and have a track of work dedicated to this throughout 26. We really appreciate the feedback coming in and all of that. So please keep it coming. With that, I'm going to stop my lightning round of 2025 and I'm going to hand it over to Kristen Costagliola to talk a little bit about 2026.
Thank you, Dee. I'm
Yeah.
really excited. I get to talk about the things that are new in Synchro as of this month, and the things that are coming up very soon and kind of some high level for 2026. So first, the first thing we released is script access by category. This was a really successful EA. You now have the ability in your scripting to control script access by categories that you assign. So you can assign scripts, specific categories, and then assign those to your users using your current existing security groups so that you can enhance for your workflows. You can do this for your normal users, for any users within the platform, as well as co-managed. So if you want your co-managed users with a specific company to only be able to access specific categories, or if you want to manage your technicians, such as your level one techs, doing specific things, you can now manage that with script access by category. The next release that we have up is our parent-child ticket summary. So you'll probably have seen on our roadmap, we have a number of things specifically focused around project management. And one of the first things up in that is parent-child ticket summary. So we're doing some big improvements to parent-child tickets. You'll continue to see these improvements kind of roll out over the next couple of months. But now on the parent tickets, you can now see customizable columns with and very clear child ticket references within those. You can have inline editing of your child tickets, so now you don't have to jump in to specifically to a child ticket to make any updates. Also, you can have an overall view of your team workflow. So we're going to start rolling up a lot of pieces from the child tickets into the parent tickets so that you'll be able to manage some of those projects where you have parent-child tickets a little bit better. So really looking forward to the improvements here, and then you'll continue to see some improvements on that. All right. Next, Dee talked about the mobile app. We're going to continue to see mobile app updates every single month. Really excited that we're still seeing we see improvements every single time. So we've updated ticket sorting and filtering. So now you'll be able to, rather than just using the ticket views that you may have saved within your account, you now can easily sort and filter your tickets across all of the tickets, just like in the web app. So you'll be able to see what you want to sort by, and then you can also filter directly in the mobile app. So please continue to give us feedback on what you want to see within the mobile app. We're going to continue to make updates here as we go forward. All right, and then those were some of the bigger updates that we've done. We've also done a number of smaller updates. One actually that's not on here, but I wanted to call out specifically is we launched a European region for our cloud backup product. So that was one of the first things that we heard when we launched cloud backup is we really want you to be in the EU region so that we can store our data there. That's been launched. We've also added and continuing improvements within our API. One of them being that in the ticket endpoint, we added a new parameter called all comments, which controls whether all comments are returned on the ticket or just the initial comment. We've seen some performance and heard from some people that you don't need to see all of the comments on a ticket when you're kind of pulling just the initial tickets. And so this is going to give you the ability to filter that. Again, especially if you're seeing any issues with that, highly recommend turning your all comments to false. Today it's set automatically to true. Nothing has changed if you're using that today, but this will help you kind of simplify some of those requests. We also added some extra security groups for asset custom fields, so viewing, creating, editing, and deleting. Can update those. We did some improvements in our backgrounding tools. We resolved some remote host not found errors, which we know is something impacting a number of people, and some memory spikes that the Syncro Live process was seeing. Also, we made some minor changes in how script runs execute. The on-demand scripts execute immediately now instead of before any pending recurring schedule, rather than kind of getting entered in line directly alongside the pending ones. For reporting, Dee talked some about reporting, and you're gonna continue to see reporting improvements over time. But we've added top 5 devices with alerts for visual and text blocks in both the executive and the internal summary reports. I'm really excited about this one. I think this one is going to make a big difference for when you're going to your clients or you're looking at things internally. And then, Andy's not here, but I have to call out our alphabetical ordering to the technician drop down on the ticket index and the detail. pages. If you go in and you want to try to find someone, now it's in alphabetical order. Hopefully should help you with your technicians as you're viewing that. And then we updated the system ticket view that was called all to be all unresolved, because that's really what the ticket view was looking at, and we wanted to make that a little bit clearer. All right. There was a number of other quality of life issues. These are just some of the big ones. Please check out our release updates to see some of the further improvements that were made. And then Dee mentioned this quickly, but we have a new training system called Syncro Unleashed. This is training pathways for new and advanced users. It has real world examples. There are short form videos, easy things for you to follow through. There's quizzes if you want to test your knowledge. There's things for you to try out directly yourself and exactly how you want to do that. You can find that directly in our normal doc center. It's called Unleashed Training. And the first 5 people to do the training win a t-shirt, and you'll be getting that information. And I think we've already had at least one person. I know for sure one person has done it.
Yeah, we put him right there. His LinkedIn post, James.
Yeah, so
Yeah, our
here's
first one.
James. If anyone else wants to do that, so I think there are a couple free t-shirts. Please feel free to fill it out. One, we're using this internally as well as for all of our partners. So all of us are going through this and making sure that we know. So please give us feedback if you have things that you'd like to see, areas you want to see more training or more assistance in. Next, so those are all the things we released, all some big improvements, but we also do have some early access going on right now. And the big early access that we have today is our Linux agent. So our Linux agent, we've been talking about, we know we were hoping to get something the end of the year, but we're starting our Linux agent. I think we'll be putting a link in the chat. Otherwise, you can join from the roadmap. You'll be able to do core monitoring and management on your Linux endpoints. You'll be able to view system information, remote access. We're working on scripting and Splashtop currently, so the early access today does not have that, but you'll see that roll out as soon as those things are done throughout the development cycle. And then it is all the major Linux platforms that are supported, so both Red Hat and Ubuntu. And you'll be able to for both Intel and ARM processors. So really, really excited to get your feedback on this. Please sign up for early access and check it out, install it on those. We know that all of us have like a couple Linux agents sitting around. So personally, I am also really excited to do this internally at Syncro. We use Syncro internally for all of our remote monitoring and management, and we have a couple of Linux machines that I am just super excited to roll this out onto and to see where it goes. All right, so that is January. Obviously, we have a huge thing ahead of us within 2026. We've spent a lot of time thinking about, and I'm really excited that our roadmap is going to continue to display that, all of the work that we're doing. But the biggest thing that is driving Dee and I in thinking about 2026 is we're going to automate what slows you down. We want to secure what matters most, and we want to raise the quality bar everywhere where work happens. So you're going to see those pillars being the things that we focus on throughout our whole roadmap and all of the pieces that we want to dig into. As Michael said, we had launched some automation in 2024, and we've been monitoring that. We've watched all of the changes in 2025, and we are really excited at where the technology is today. And we see the tremendous value that we're going to be able to add this year in Syncro to automate and provide all of you the efficiencies. That has been a core foundation of Syncro's platform forever. And now we have these amazing technologies that we can take advantage of. But we are not doing this just throwing things at the wall. We're looking at it very, very specifically on where can we drive you efficiencies? How can we make you more profitable? And what can we do so that you feel secure and that you see the benefits of the platform as we continue to grow? So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Dee to quickly talk through some of our the high level roadmap. Or Dee, I don't remember, was I talking about this slide or?
Either one of us is perfectly great. I'm happy to take it. No worries. All right, great. So yeah, a few themes following on from what Kristen said. We try to approach the year with some high level items that help us and our teams kind of have our work roll up. And so number one is just automating the work and helping to amplify your teams. And so whether this is AI powered automation, other automation, just usability for top tasks, we're really looking at kind of end-to-end use cases for what you're doing in product and just trying to streamline those flows and just trying to save you time. It's one of the core benchmarks that my team is looking at, our teams are looking at through the course of this year. We're also looking at trying to make self-service support smoother for end users, whether that's through chat or other mechanisms, just trying to really smooth out that process for end users. Also, the second up is kind of security, hardening the environment, whether that's, security and compliance across your Microsoft 365 tenants with new baselines coming up and other things, Intune integrations, or across your endpoints. And so you'll see that as a common theme is like just really making sure we're helping you on all fronts, both endpoint and in the cloud to harden your environment. And then last but not least is building for quality and embracing simplicity. We are trying to strip out complexity every place we can because it helps us build a higher quality product. And we've had the team working on core workflows, fixes to any issues we find, optimizing performance, making sure we're getting good baselines in there for performance so that we can just continue to raise the bar as we go through this year. So that's what we're focused on, kind of at a high level from a theme perspective, kind of longer term. Now, I'm going to focus in a little bit more on, current short-term public roadmap that we have published. I think, as you all know, I try not to publish too far out in advance. Some projects are a little more long running, and we talked about it over like late summer this year. But let's go through things that are currently getting ready to ship. And so next up, so shipping soon. As always, we'll have a quality of life track of work. The Linux agent is getting really close. As Kristen mentioned, we are heading into early access for that. We would love your feedback on it. I think we have it in test with a handful of folks, but more to come on that. The other two things that are getting ready to head over the finish line. Number one is, and everyone's been asking for this, billing, kind of universal billing for Microsoft 365 licenses. So if you're using our Entra ID Sync and syncing over those licenses, making it so that you can really, really easy incorporate that into your recurring invoices. And so you can always be billing your customers appropriately. We're also expanding our Microsoft 365 baselines. And so we'll be adding a lot more rules and there'll be more things coming down the pike in and around Microsoft 365, even beyond that. In terms of the next things that are kind of in motion, but maybe a little farther out, Stripe ACH. So we are getting closer. So I think by next month, we should have a good story to tell for you around our ACH payment options. We're also doing a couple of projects in and around reporting, allowing you to export that asset view to CSV and allowing you to really track unbilled work. So you get a created date and a technician in your pending ticket charges. So it's just making that report a lot more actionable. We heard that feedback from a lot of folks. And then ticket blueprints. This is an exciting project that I think is foundational for the support of project management. You've seen we've been adding things to parent-child tickets. We have a handful of other projects, but a big one is this idea of ticket blueprints. And so really what this is if you have a parent ticket and a set of child tickets and you want to make that a template or a blueprint for future things, maybe you have like a set of tasks you always do when you onboard a new employee and you want to have a series of tickets and they should be assigned in different ways. They should be different types. They should have different data. You can create a blueprint. And then every single time you want to do that, you just create a new ticket based off the blueprint. It's going to automatically generate the parent, the children, and put all the data in there for you. So it'll be all automated. So that's a pretty exciting kind of foundational project management piece that's in flight right now with our team. And then if we look at the next tranche of things that we are kind of in design and working toward, Easy App Uninstall, enhancing the ability to work with product bundles and making that easier, adding some more tracking to script change logs, enhancing our chat, both reliability and usability, Mac agent enhancements. I think there are some short-term things that are going out for Mac just in terms of some quality and other enhancements, and then we'll look at some additional things longer term. And then a few projects, as I mentioned, in and around project management to allow folks from the end user portal to see projects, to really be able to filter and exclude certain tickets based on issue type and recurring billing, and to really allow it so that in the pending ticket charges report, you can easily see parent and child tickets so you can invoice and report on your projects separately. So lots to come. I think that concludes the slide portion of the day. And so we'll probably take a move into Q&A, and between Kristen and myself, and maybe we even have some questions from Michael, we'll take a look and we'll go from there. I don't know, Kristen, if you have had an opportunity to see anything you want to pick up from a Q&A perspective.
Yeah, there's a couple. I think we had a couple on additional support for Mac. So we know there's some additional work that we want to do on the Mac agent side. Dee just talked about a little bit, but our first is support for backgrounding tools. We want to make sure that we can bring backgrounding tools to all of the Mac alongside with Windows, and then really focusing on the stability and kind of overall improvements. I think this came from both Marcel and Mary. If there are specific things you'd like to see on the Mac agent side, please feel free to submit in our product feedback, which is either in the product or, shoot some, ask some questions here, give us some details. We'd love to make sure that we're working on the things that are highest priority for you. And then there was a question on Linux Agent. Will the Linux Agent deploy Screen Connect automatically like it does for Windows devices? The answer is yes, although not in this first initial early access and possibly this first launch. We're focusing on some of the really important monitoring pieces, but it will follow immediately after we know that this is a big remote access request, and making sure that you have the ability to use the normal remote access tools alongside Splashtop, which is obviously built in. So yes, you will see that. All right, Dee, you have.
Great. Yeah, I'll grab a couple. I have one that says, is there a report that shows us ticket metrics for like a specific client? And so if you're using the executive summary report builder, you have the building blocks in there to create a report to have average response and resolution times. You can also create a list of specific tickets and include response time and resolution time for those tickets as well. I also got a question around, Google Workspace. Are there plans on integration for Google Workspace? We do not have plans today to integrate Google Workspace, but we are keeping our ears open and seeing like how many folks really want this. We are really focused in on Microsoft. The predominant, we see folks really predominantly using Microsoft. We want to make sure we have that fully covered, but keep the requests coming and we'll keep listening, and you never know what we'll put in our plan, but right now there isn't plan. There was also a question about AI summaries. Will you be adding AI summaries that text can see so that you can see repeating or similar issues and kind of like look across tickets? Kristen alluded to this in the beginning of the meeting. We are starting to look and we have some efforts in place, prototyping and work around AI, where we really do feel like we're going to be able to bring things like that to you. I don't have it's this specific project just yet. And part of that is because what we're doing right now is going through a rigorous test of the data to make sure that the data we have and the models that exist, that we're going to be able to get quality, great results for you. So there's going to be much more to come in the world of AI, but we are actively working on it and setting it up so that it's going to be a nice flywheel that, as we release and launch, it's going to continue to learn and continue to evolve as quickly as AI is continuing to learn and evolve. For anyone who tried something 6 months ago versus 3 months ago versus today, it's a whole different world out there. And so we're pretty excited about some of the doors that are now open to us. And so you'll hear a lot more from us on that front.
All right. Patrick asked, where do I find upcoming training sessions such as the Power Hour for Power BI reporting? Patrick, we do send emails out about them, although I'm sure if you are like me, you get hundreds and hundreds of emails and probably they're challenging to keep track of. You can also check out our community. I'm also going to post in response to your question the link to the past power hours where you can also sign up, and that will help you make sure to get access. And if you're not getting any of those things from us, please feel free to reach out, and we're happy to help make sure you're on the list and that you can get all of those emails and notifications. We also do pop-ups kind of within the app as well. If you use our resource center in the bottom corner of the app, you may see some notifications or other things that pop up there. Check that out. You can get some information there. And then Josh asked, what Linux distros are you targeting? So Josh, you'll be able to support all Red Hat, Ubuntu, and I'll pull in, they were in the slides, but we're supporting the major distros of Linux. If there are others that you think we're missing, please let us know.
I see another question here, a couple actually. We'd like to see an integration of Syncro with an MDM tool. You don't want to build from scratch. Someone else asking, MDM with remote access into mobile devices. And so it's absolutely something we'd consider. We are currently we're working on an Intune integration, but we're also open to other integrations. And so let us know in the chat or wherever if you're using a tool, if you'd like to use a tool, always interested to hear if there are other things that we might bring in for you that you'd want to see us provide in our marketplace and provide some level of integration to. So definitely let us know.
Oh, parent-child companies. It would be great to have the ability to have a parent company with owned child company structures. We have a very, very basic way and level that you can do this today in Syncro. We have what's called the Syncro tenant, which is basically the parent to all of your organizations. You can change and add other organizations to your Syncro tenant. You'll find that on the organizations page. I'll try to pull it up in the Doc Center to pop it in the response here as well. But you can link other ones, and then if you set up, for instance, if you set up the Microsoft integration, you'll be able to link, and then you'll be able to separate your end users to all of those different organizations and kind of manage things there. We know that there's more to be desired in functionality for for the Syncro tenant and what you might want to do between kind of the Syncro tenant and the organizations themselves. So Doug, I know this came from you. Happy to chat and hear what kind of workflows you're looking to achieve with that. And so please feel free to reach out and love to talk about kind of where you might want to go from there.
Oh, where can I find the documentation for upgrading from Syncro Core Plan to the Team Plan? If you just go to docs.syncromsp.com, if you type in, Team Plan, it'll just show up for you right in there. There's a question mark at the bottom of the Doc Center. You can ask actually any natural language question. It's a really nice way to search our documentation. I find if I ask it, I forget what I asked it yesterday because someone asked me a question I didn't know the answer to, and I was pleasantly surprised. I was like, let me type it in here and see if it works, and it did. So that's the place where you can find both how to do that as well as the comparison of both. If you would like to do that, it's there for you. We have a couple of folks asking questions about Syncro Snapshot. I think for right now, you can ask questions and get help from Snapshot from the community. Right now, it's a community-based tool. Oh, someone asked about invoices and estimates in the mobile app. I think as many of you are aware, we have an older legacy mobile app that did have some invoicing capabilities. We are exploring the ability to add invoicing into the mobile app. And so I know Bobby from the team, who a lot of you know, has been collecting what people exactly would want to do while they're on the go with mobile and invoicing and trying to come up with what's a really good, useful, simple slice of invoicing. And so feel free to use product feedback if you have anything specific you'd like to feed in that you'd be looking for in the mobile app when it comes to invoicing and estimates. It is something that's on our radar, and you might see us add to the roadmap soon.
There's a question around if Snapshot requires the Teams license. No, Snapshot is actually entirely free and does not require a Syncro license at all. You can use that without being a Syncro customer. We partnered with CyberDrain specifically to bring this for free to every MSP out there. So if you know an MSP, they don't use Syncro, they can use Syncro Snapshot if they want. So there's nothing that should be stopping you. There's no licensing requirements on Syncro side to stop you from using Syncro Snapshot.
Another mobile question came in around just issues with the mobile app logging out frequently on folks. And so we are working on, we did find an issue in the mobile app that was causing more frequent logouts. And so that issue is being worked right now. So you should see that be fixed. And so you can then use your regular login or your biometrics or whatever it is you want to get into the mobile app and use that.
There's a question around any plans to create an MCP server. Yes, this is something that we're investigating. I don't have any specifics on exactly like when that might go. We're still working on exactly what to include in the MCP, what we might want, and how you might want to leverage it. Ashley, I'd love to talk with you about what you might be wanting to do with the MCP, how you would leverage it within ChatGPT, what kind of questions you might want to ask. So let's like yeah, send us some details of what you're trying to do so we can help make sure that all of that would be included as we go down that route.
Right. Two questions here. Another one on the Syncro snapshot asking, does it require a Syncro Teams license and what do I need from a licensing perspective? You do not need, you actually don't even need a Syncro license to use the snapshot. It's a freely available tool to anyone. And so you should just be able to go out and run it. We worked with CyberDrain on it to just make it kind of a gift to the community. And then another question here on parent-child tickets, saying that it's a great ad to have the parent-child ticket summary that we released, but it's still manual to roll up those values and do the math. And so, yes, you will see us continue to enhance those areas of the product so that we're going to take out a lot of the manual work from that as well. So more to come on parent-child tickets and your ability to see into those and not have to do a lot of the calculating on your own.
There is a question about potential partnership with SentinelOne or Duo. Unfortunately, Andy, who is our channel chief and does a lot of our partnerships, is not here. He's at CES. It's what it is his one big trip that he does every year. That's why Andy is not on the webinar with us today. But I will absolutely pass this along. I know we're constantly chatting with other vendors and seeing what we can do and who we might be able to partner with and kind of what directions are. So I'll pass that along. And I know SentinelOne is one that we hear frequently, so I'm sure that it's on Andy's radar, and I know he's talked to them. So
I can add just, we have been, as Kristen noted, we're in constant conversations with people, and we're always paying attention to, not just sort of the standard bearers of the market, but also folks that are aligned with our strategic initiatives, Microsoft management being sort of a part of it. And we are in some discussions with either SentinelOne or a very much like company that perhaps, is very, very much aligned in that way. So I think you can anticipate that we may have something not in Q1, but perhaps toward the end of Q1 or early Q2.
Great. And Michael, actually, I think we are pretty much at the end of a lot of our questions. And so I don't know if you wanted to say a quick sign off message for folks, but I will myself personally say Happy New Year and thank you all. I appreciate you joining.
Yeah, thank you. And by the way, this is so important. Like, I hope you understand. This isn't just a moment in time. We take all of the questions you were asking, throughout this session, all of the feedback we get after, some who can't attend, get this recording later and so forth, and they come back. And we factor all of this information in. So it's really, really helpful to get, your constructive feedback, right? Because we're all in this very much together. we're partners in this journey. Again, my gratitude to each and every one of you. Kristen, Dee, to you too, and your teams do an extraordinary job in all of these areas, and to Team Syncro in general, but to the pack, to our early access partners and so forth, and to the market. We're really looking forward to an exciting 2026. We're continuing to double down in the areas that I mentioned before, and we want to make sure that we shore up all of the great aspects of our platform at the same time. So again, we're really looking forward to a great 2026 with you all. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you all. Really looking forward to seeing you again next month and for all the fun things we're going to be able to do.